Is your HVAC system ready for the new season? Seems early, but fall is in the air. Call Premier Heating and Air for a $69 system checkup to ensure your heater is ready for action. If your system needs service or replacing, Premier will provide you with the best options for your situation. Premier Heating and Air offers several services to ensure your home's comfort. Let one of our technicians come out and clean and seal your air duct system, add attic insulation, clean your dryer vent, or install one of our indoor air quality products to keep your home pleasant. Call today to experience the Premier difference.
If I could have everybody's attention, please. Again, so glad to see everybody here tonight. Let's give a hand to the chefs for the wonderful meal. And I think we owe another hand to just everybody that has put this together. I'm not going to even begin to list names, but this is a great event, and the work shows and the heart shows. So we applaud everybody that had a hand in that as well. I like to end with one more song. About 4 months ago, Christina spoke at our church, Dudley Baptist, and shared her heart for the ABC Women's Clinic. And it was only maybe a 5-minute window time that she spoke, but this song popped in my head, and I thought, man, I wish we could just sing that song right after she's seated. But it's called The One You Love, and if I felt like if you could just take a song for the ladies that come through the door, if you could just sit them in a room and talk with them and play this song, man, it speaks of just God's love, and that we don't have to be any shape, form, or fashion. We just have to show up. He loves us just the way we are, and He makes no mistakes. That's big. God makes no mistakes with anything. It's all in His plan. So I'd like to share this song with you before we go to the next portion of the event tonight. I can be real with you. Say anything and not be afraid. You made me and you like what you made. You made me and you don't make mistakes. I can be real with you. You take me just as I am. You choose me all over again. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. I don't have to prove anything. There's room at your table for me. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. I know you're proud of me. Oh, even though I don't deserve it sometimes. No, I'm not a perfect child, but I still make my Father smile. I know you're proud of me. Yeah. You take me just as I am. You choose me all over again. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. I don't have to prove anything. There's room at your table for me. I am the one you love. love never fails. Your love never fails. Your love never fails. Amen. Your love never fails. Your love never fails. Oh, your love never fails. Your love never fails. You take me just as I am. You choose me all over again. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. I don't have to prove anything. There's room at your table for me. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. I am the one you love. 'Cause you take me just as I am. You choose me all over again.
It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and at Dublin Chevy GMC, we care. So we'll be contributing to the fight against breast cancer.
Thanks for your help in the fight against breast cancer.
In October, we'll be partnering with local agencies by making a donation for every vehicle sold and every vehicle serviced at Dublin Chevy GMC.
We appreciate your help in the fight against breast cancer.
So join us in our fight against breast cancer, and remember, Don wears pink well only at Dublin Chevy GMC.
Hi, I'm Tom Dominy. Here at Dublin Wind Nelson, we pride ourselves on providing the industry's highest quality products at the most competitive pricing. We are a full-service wholesaler specializing in plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products. With a staff that collectively offers more than 50 years of expertise, our team knows your industry, and we can answer your questions and help you get the parts and equipment you need. From Moen to Renee, we carry the plumbing, irrigation, and industrial products you need from the brands you trust. We also carry a great lineup of Milwaukee tools. At Dublin Wind Nelson, our goal is the long-term success of your business. We achieve that goal with a simple commitment, doing things right, one customer at a time. If you have a question, or if you're looking for a hard-to-find part, give us a call. Our experts are ready to help. Order online, give us a call, or come by at 507 Airport Road in Dublin. We're committed to building long-term relationships with our customers by earning your business every day.
North, south, east, or west, Friendly Gus is on your way today. Fuel up with Friendly Gus's delicious breakfast, made fresh every day. Your wallet and your belly will thank you. Choose from our 20, 40, and 60-piece chicken finger and wing platters. And don't forget the tater logs. Our food is always fresh and our service is always friendly. Friendly Gus, on your way today. Also shop Cochran Brothers Cash and Carry at 320 South Jefferson in Dublin for additional items like paper products, chicken wings, bulk drinks, spices, sauces, and more. Do you want to feel and look healthier, younger, and full of vitality and energy? Med Spa is your solution for treatments, including skin, waxing, brow and lashes, Botox, fillers, body sculpting, and laser treatment, including hair removal, the fastest and least painful anywhere. Come visit us at Med Spa and book your massages by calling Med Spa today at 275-8346. Or visit us at 2400 Bellevue Road, Suite 11 in Dublin.
Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We are absolutely honored to be able to celebrate with you what the Lord has been doing at ABC Women's Clinic this year. For 31 years, isn't that amazing that this ministry has been here in Dublin for 31 years. God has done amazing things in 31 years through the many staff, volunteers, and board members. that have come along beside over all those 31 years to help women at risk for abortion in our county and the surrounding 13 counties to understand that there is a better choice than abortion. Because many of you here tonight have been sowing into this ministry faithfully, we are able to provide the services that we provide, share the resources that we share, and most importantly, to spread the gospel with every woman and man and grandma and anybody who will sit there and listen to our precious nurse share the gospel, because she shares it with everybody who will listen. Right now, we are seeing a mighty move of the Lord. Last year, because I know we did not have a banquet last year, we had our open house and celebrated our past CEO in her retirement, so we did not do a banquet. So we didn't really get to share, with a large group of people our numbers for last year, but I do want to just share with y'all that last year alone, we had 17 boyfriends except Jesus. That gave us a total for the year of 83 salvations. But we have never seen this many men be so receptive to the gospel. We are seeing God do something really amazing. And so far this year, we've had 9 boyfriends. Don't you know that if God gets a hold of these young men, what is that going to mean for that family, for that child? So I'm asking you tonight, pray like you've never prayed before. Our theme, God gave me the theme for tonight, now more than ever before. We need to be praying now more than ever before for these young men, that they will come to know Him as God is turning the hearts of the fathers to their children. And we are just believing for that. So far, we've had 9 boyfriends, 3 friends. Well, I actually think it's 2 friends and a cousin that have come to know the Lord, giving us so far for the year a total of 64 souls. This week, our nurse gave away our last Bible. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. We got a problem. We ran out of Bibles. Pastors that are in this building tonight, and we have many, and I'm so excited tonight. We have such a representation of different churches across our county tonight, and I'm so grateful for that. But pastors, if you want to know what your church can do, buy us a case of Bibles, because they're flying out the door. Hallelujah. We are giving out the word to everybody who's getting saved. And I want to share this lastly. I'm not going to take up the entire time because y'all are in for a treat with our speakers tonight. But currently, 123 of our patients at risk for abortion are continuing their pregnancies so far this year. But even more exciting than that, 55% of these that are abortion-minded, so these are women that are coming into the clinic saying they want to terminate their pregnancy, 55% of those have changed their mind for life. So, God is absolutely moving on the hearts of these women. Thank you so much for your faithfulness to pray. I could stand up here and I could talk to you all night, and I would love to, but you came to hear our medical director. We are so very, very blessed to have 2 very godly men who head up our medical stuff. Our medical director is Dr. Carolee, and then Dr. Parker reads our ultrasound scans, and you're going to get to hear from him tonight as well. Thank you so much for continuing to support this ministry. And pastors, let me come speak to your congregations. See me afterwards.
Hi, I'm Dr. Dustin Gay. I'm a local orthopedic surgeon with Houston Clinic Orthopedics, and we'd really like to invite everybody to come out to our new office facility to take a look at it. It's a larger space with physical therapy, and we're just excited to have it, and we'd love for people to come out and visit us.
Come by and see us today at our brand new location, the Houston Clinic, Medical Drive in Dublin.
All right, boys, if you want to go to college, you have to clear out another one of these.
What if we told you there was a better way to save for your kids' college than pickle jars? Morris Bank's Savings Builder account and Moolah makes saving for your kids' college easier than ever. All you have to do is connect the account to your debit card, where it automatically rounds up your purchases to the nearest dollar, depositing that spare change into a Moolah account where it will grow into a nice little nest egg for whatever your kids have their sights set on.
You've been saying you want it, and now's the time to get it. Pool and patio furniture in style with fabrics you want, comfort and durability you deserve. You'll even save on accessories and add your own personal style. Come see the full line of pool and patio furniture at Mid-State Pools and Spas today and bring home a colorful poolside. Now's a great time to save at Mid-State Pools and Spas, located on Veterans Boulevard in Dublin. Mid-State Pools and Spas. We know pools.
Looking for a career that's always in demand? How about one that provides you with practical and useful skills? A career that allows you to earn hands-on experience and an education with little to no debt? Oconee Fall Line Technical College prepares students with the right set of skills to succeed in fast-growing careers in healthcare, manufacturing, business, and technology fields. If you're ready to gain the experience you need to start your career locally, OFTC is where it all begins. Oconee Fall Line Technical College. Careers begin here.
Thank you guys for coming. It's an honor to be asked to speak. This is such a worthwhile ministry, really doing kingdom work. But I'm going to talk about some stuff tonight that I wondered, or I pondered, should I apologize before or just ask for forgiveness afterwards? But this is it's not an easy topic to talk about. Abortion it's dirty. So some of the imagery that I'm going to use tonight, I think I owe it to you just to give you a little bit of a warning that it may be a little direct, but I think it's purposeful. And I in no way mean to offend anyone with anything I say. So unlike my father-in-law who says it's better to ask forgiveness than permission, I'm going to ask for permission to have a little license tonight. I'm going to start. I'd like everybody to think about, just envision for a moment, it's 1942, and you're an 18-year-old male. You just graduated from high school probably about 8 months ago, and you find yourself in the European theater somewhere. It's the middle of the night. You're in a foxhole. It's winter, and you're thinking it's quiet. You're in the foxhole. It's quiet. You just process the events of the day. You witnessed some pretty bad stuff. You saw friends that you've gone to basic training with and friends in your company that you lost that day. You're thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow. Am I going to survive? And I think in those foxholes, if we're, if you can imagine, well, what really are those men thinking about? God's got to be there. There had to be a lot of God moments in those foxholes. And I use that war analogy for a very good reason, because we're still in a war, and I know all this stuff with Israel and Hamas, which is absolutely horrible. Putting that aside, the war of abortion, that spiritual war, is very real, and it is very active. And so I want to use that imagery of World War II and that person in the foxhole, and I want you to think about how would the devil be using that for his advantage. And actually that same year, 1942, C.S. Lewis wrote a book, The Screwtape Letters, and I have a copy of it here. Many of you have probably read it. Very good book, but it's written from the perspective of Screwtape, who is a senior devil, and he's writing letters to his nephew, Wormwood, who's a junior devil, who's learning how to tempt what he calls his patient, the person that he's been assigned to tempt. And he's writing him letters, giving him advice on ways he should go and tactics he should use. And this is a good it's a great way for us as Christians to learn what not to do. We should be doing the opposite of what Screwtape does. So I've kind of taken this idea and kind of twisted it around. We're going to look at it from the perspective of the devil. If it was been said many times, if you're fighting an enemy, you really need to know how your enemy thinks and what their tactics are. And so C.S. Lewis gives us a really good insight into the tactics that the devil uses. So one of the big ones, there's three main ones, but one that was kind of shocking when I was reading this book was wartime is actually not a good time for the devil. You would actually think, with people dying and countries fighting countries and mayhem, that would be, the devil would be reveling in that. And actually, one of his, and he wrote this in 1942 in the midst of World War II, the devil was not happy with war. And the reason has to do with the fact that in those foxholes, those men are thinking about God. They're thinking about their mortality. And they know they may not survive the next day. And so God is on the forefront of these people's minds, and that's not what the devil wants. Back home, if you have an 18-year-old son that got sent to war, you've got that family praying for that person. Their friends, distant relatives, their church family, their school that they went to, everybody would be praying for that person at war. So what's the number one tool that our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ gave us on this earth to help us get through? It was prayer. And so prayer was rampant during World War II and during most wars. Every day, they didn't have a whole lot of TV, I think, back in the 1940s, but radio was big, and I'm sure every night they would get updates on how many American lives were lost that day, what the injuries and the progress in the different battles, but definitely it was on the forefront of everyone's mind. If we fast forward to now, we have a completely, besides again the Israel-Hamas war, which is awful, and I pray that everything will go as it's supposed to there, which that situation needs a lot of prayers. But with the spiritual war in abortion that's alive and well now, the face of that war looks completely different. Roe v. Wade, 1973, we had where it became legal to have abortion in this country. And when you think about how many lives have been lost to abortion, it's been a lot of lives. If we go back, using that war analogy, go back to 1861, the Civil War, and all the major wars going forward, the Civil War, World War I, World War II, Korea, Vietnam, the Gulf War, the War on Terror, all totaled about 1.2 million Americans died during those wars. Well, since 1973, since Roe v. Wade became the law, 63.5 million lives have been lost. That's a lot of lives. And not to make light of the lives that were lost in war. That's 1.2 million is a ton of lives. But 63.5 million, that's about 1/5 of the U.S. current population. So how many people do we have at the tables? There's 5 or 6 at each table. That's one person at each table, basically being taken away, lost to abortion. So this war has a lot of casualties. Going back to some of the tactics that C.S. Lewis talked about that Screwtape would use, we had the number one, war isn't good. But if you can make war not look like war, then the devil can revel in that. And he's succeeding from that perspective with the war on abortion. 2 years ago, well, I guess a year and a half ago or so, June of 22, Roe v. Wade was overturned. And you would think, well, gosh, that's a wonderful victory for the cause of life. But since then, we've had this exponential rise in the internet medicine space, and that started, I think, with COVID, where people would go online to get some medical care. And now these patients can go anonymously online in the privacy of their bathroom, their bedroom, and not even really have to talk to anybody, but maybe fill out some questions on a form and get these pills mailed to their house And without anybody knowing, they can end up with an abortion without having their parents or friends or anyone even know. So nobody's praying for them. It's not like it was in World War II where everybody knows you're at war and you need prayers. This is a silent war in the lives of many of these young women, and no one's there praying for them. Now, I will say ABC Women's Clinic certainly is. Maybe the only voice that's representing the other side for these young women, but it's become so easy to have access to these medicines now, and that's made the devil happy, because it's not, imminent death and hardship is not on the forefront of people's minds. So they're not thinking about God. They're looking at this as, I have a problem, I have an unplanned pregnancy. How can I get that problem to go away? And I think one of the ways to think about this a little bit, and I'm making sure I'm not getting a little wordy here, so I have a tendency to do that. Let's see, I'm sorry. Okay. I'm still good. So one of the ways I think we need to think about how people come to the ability of how can someone murder their child? How does that even become a possibility? And I think it harkens back to one of the things Screwtape says is how we can keep, he calls them the person he's tempting, he calls them the patient. How do we keep the patient away from the enemy, which is God in this case, and bring him to our Father below, which would be Satan? So one of the big tactics is keep them focused away from thinking, away from logic, focused on emotion. And that works really, really well. And there's the other big tactic, and I'm gonna give examples of this, but the other big tactic is if we can keep people focused on what they can see, that will become their reality. What they can't see isn't real. So we're gonna focus on what we can see. And so I'm gonna go back to envisioning being around 1973 when people are thinking about making this law for abortion. And I'm gonna pick on my good friend Tracy for just a second. Let's say I wanted to murder my friend, which I don't. I don't want to do that. But for example, I wanted to figure out, is there a way I can legally kill my friend Tracy? If I took out a gun tonight and I shot him, I'm clearly committing murder in front of all these witnesses, and I've broken the law. And so how can I move the needle, so to speak, and make that legal? Well, if we change the definition of life to what we can see, then life starts at birth. Because before that, you can't see the baby, with the exception of ultrasound. But for the purposes of this discussion, we're going to say life begins at birth if I'm writing this law trying to legalize abortion. And so what that means is as long as that baby is killed before the baby comes out, then that's legal. And that's where that partial birth abortion term comes in. It's a disgusting concept. And I'm sorry to even, this is where I want to apologize about the imagery, because the imagery is not pretty, but this is not a pretty topic. But the idea of that is, as long as you kill the baby before it is out of the birth canal, that's legal. As soon as the baby's completely out of the womb, out of the birth canal, and you do the same thing, could be a second later, then it's murder. So it becomes a definition of location. And I'm going to use this room. Let's imagine, for example, this room is not the ice house. This is the uterus. And I want to kill my friend Tracy. If I can do that in this room, then it's legal. But as soon as he walks out that door, it's murder. Ridiculous. Definition based purely on location. Now, let me back up a second. You hear terms today, things like reproductive rights. It's a great sounding term that the left uses that says a woman should have the right to control what happens to her body. And that sounds great on the surface. But when you really think about what that is, they say that this is for the autonomy that she should have to make decisions for herself. And the way medical ethics works is physicians are governed by autonomy, which is giving the patient the ability to make a decision for themselves. Also, beneficence is doing some medical good, but also in the presence of something called non-maleficence, not causing harm. And so those are the kind of three of the big principles that guide medical ethics. And the left would say, if they believe that life doesn't happen until birth, then that baby inside that mom is not really alive. And so when I am going to talk to somebody who's abortion-minded and they say, well, based on her autonomy, you don't have the right to impart your views on her, I say, left, you're absolutely wrong, because I don't believe that life starts at birth. Life starts at conception. And I would think that that's what most of us believe in here. And so one of the great things the ABC Women Clinic does by going medical, having ultrasound, being able to show an abortion-minded woman a heartbeat that they can see, a heartbeat that they can hear, that certainly shows them that mass of tissue or bunch of cells inside them is so much more than that. It's alive. And so I believe that patient that comes into my office who's abortion-minded, I have the responsibility and the duty to not just have that patient's autonomy in mind, but what about that unborn baby? That baby that is alive. That baby has a right to self-determination. That baby has a right to something good medically and to not be harmed, no non-maleficence. And so one of the best ways I've found to successfully talk to women who are in this frame of mind has been the following. I'm actually going to give you an example of a patient I saw about 4 weeks ago. She had a 4-year-old, it was her only other child, and she came in with a positive pregnancy test and was absolutely distraught. Just didn't know what she was going to do. There was no way she could have another child. And so I wanted to discern in the situation the logic from the emotion and kind of use logic to bring her emotion to where maybe she could see the appropriateness. So I said, well, if this is a numbers thing, if you're afraid you can't handle two children, let's not do anything with this baby. Let's keep the baby, but let's kill your 4-year-old. How do you think that went over? Yeah, so she looked at me like I had 6 heads, and I said, wait, I know you're about to punch me. I said, please don't. I said that for a reason, because I know in your mind right now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, there's no way I could kill my 4-year-old. And I said, I know the reason why you can't kill your 4-year-old. You got 4 years of history, 4 years of memories, 4 years of love for that child. Love. That is the one thing the devil doesn't have. Love only comes from one place. And that is if you can make an abortion-minded mom realize that she loves her children, and every mom here, and every mom around loves their children. They just got to get the memories. They got to get to that part that Screwtape talks about of what you see is your reality, is what you see is real. They've seen their 4-year-old for 4 years and had all those experiences, and that to them is real. This baby that's in their belly that they have not seen, that they don't have those experiences with yet, it's easy or easier to have this idea of, I can end the problem quickly and just no one has to know. But that tactic has actually been, I hate to use the word tactic, it's really logic. And when it comes down to making decisions, we make decisions using a combination of two things, logic and emotion. And Screwtape wants us to focus on emotion and not on logic. If we can make the patient think, and when I say the patient, I'm referring to C.S. Lewis, the way he talks about the one that's being tempted. If we can make the patient actually use their logic and think about something rather than be run by emotion, and then they have a much, much better chance of realizing the right thing and making the right choice. Real quickly, two examples of how we make decisions. One is purely logical. The example, math question. It's a real tough math question. A plus B equals C. If A, I tell you, is 5, and B, I tell you, is 5, then the answer for C is 10, right? And the only way you can make that mistake would be if you made an error in your arithmetic, right? There's no emotion involved in that. But if I asked, what's your favorite ice cream? I know I'm a chocolate guy. My wife likes vanilla. But there's no wrong answer. It's subjective, right? It's whatever's right for you. And what our current society likes to do is to take the subjective answer that is available to some questions, but apply that universally across the board. So everything is subjective, and it's a term called moral relativism, and it's alive and well. It's running amok on college campuses and all over. But basically, whatever's right for you is right for you. Who am I to judge? And whatever's right for me is right for me. But that means that nothing is really true. So that doesn't apply. If you try to apply that to things like the issue of abortion, it sounds great on the surface, but there's no substance to it. It's all emotion, and it's one of the devil's tactics. There's a few other things you'll hear from the left. Certain attacks, we call them ad hominem attacks, where they'll attack the person and not the substance of their argument. Give you an example. If you have a left-leaning politician and you're trying to have a discussion about their policies and they don't like what you're saying, immediately you're called a hater. Has nothing to do with the substance of your argument. Let's just attack the person. And that's really weak, but that's what's done a lot. They try with these, a lot of the emotional decisions, they'll try to use exceptions. One of the big ones is, what about for cases of incest or rape? And those are horrible things when that happens. Thankfully, those numbers are pretty low. Actually, 0.06% of crisis pregnancies are from cases of rape and incest. So that means 99.94% of the time that's not the case. But they would say, because of those cases, we should not have any restrictions on abortion on demand. They should be available for everyone, so no one has to ask what the reason is, but just in case somebody has that issue, come up. And that's akin to saying, I know AJ's here, and one of our great law enforcement folks, and traffic laws. That's like me saying, well, I might have an emergency one day where I have to break the speed limit to get my family member to the hospital for an emergency. So because I might have to break that law, let's just get rid of all the traffic laws. And that's the same concept. There's I won't name her, but there's a famous left-leaning comedian who said, and I don't want to remember my quote. I would take pro-lifers' arguments more seriously if they were willing to adopt the babies they were trying to save from abortion. And that's like saying, well, if you won't adopt a baby, then you can't tell me not to kill one. I mean, that's crazy, absolutely crazy. So here we find ourselves. We say, well, how did we get to where abortion even started? And the founder of Planned Parenthood, her name was Margaret Sanger. This was her quote: "The most merciful thing a large family can do for one of its infants is to kill it." Well, I sure would not want to be remembered for that quote. But that's the founder of Planned Parenthood, is the largest provider of abortions in our country. So I know this is a not so fun topic to talk about, but there are great tactics, if you will, that we can use to talk to women, to get them to separate the logic from the emotion. And ABC Women's Clinic is doing a wonderful job of that. What was the statistic that you said? 55% of people who were abortion-minded who entered the clinic changed their life or changed their mind for life, and that's wonderful. I would ask all of you to support this ministry with your prayers. Remember, prayer is the tool that Jesus gave us to help us get through the difficult times that we will face in this life. It's a powerful, powerful tool, and it does not fall on deaf ears. And so I would ask all of you to include this ministry in your prayers on a daily basis. And I thank you for your time. I apologize for some of the in-your-face imagery, but thank you very much, and God bless you.
Seems early, but before you know it, you'll be firing up that heater. Is your system ready for winter? Let Premier Heating and Air check it out. For just $69, our trained professionals will come out and inspect your heater and duct system to ensure it's ready for that first cold morning. Call Premier for up to $1,500 in rebates on your new heating system. Also qualify for a $2,000 tax credit on new units installed in 2023. Call today to experience the Premier difference. Allen's Heating and Cooling is your licensed Amana equipment dealer. Trust Allen's Heating and Cooling to install and service your heating and air conditioning unit. Allen services all brands, and with the purchase of a new unit, Amana offers a lifetime compressor warranty. Sean Clark or any of his friendly staff can help you today at Allen's Heating and Cooling. Your Amana dealer. Amana, last and last and last.
Hello, this is Andy Cullins at Cullins Supply. You can mow with an attitude. It's our legacy, the driving force behind every mower. It's a promise to every bad boy mower owner, and we offer powerful mowing performance across our entire mower lineup. And we do it all for mowing pros and demanding homeowners just like you. It takes brains and brawn to build a mower that's regularly, simple to operate, and easy to maintain, and provide the best value as a bad boy mower. Overbuilt and over horsepowered, since the very beginning, our mowers represent the best in delivering classic American muscle. We continue to improve the process of building and innovating our mowers so that every single one is delivered to you ready to mow with an attitude. Visit us at Cullins Supply and Engine Service at 910 East Jackson Street in Dublin or 826 South Harris Street in Sandersville.
How to outsmart the outdoors. Think fast. That needs work. That needs trimming. That needs cleanup. But all that work takes a lot of tools. Lucky for you, that tool, that one, they're all the same tool. That's smart. Super smart. That's the Echo Pro Attachment Series. Gas-powered, battery-powered. 16 attachments for hedging, edging, trimming, tilling, cutting, blowing, paddling. Yeah, that too. It's outdoor grade, professional grade, commercial grade, which is great for making your yard look like it belongs in a commercial. Echo, power on and on.
Hey, I'm TJ with Dublin Outdoors and Power Sports, formerly known as Myers Equipment Supply. We're your full-line sales and service dealer for Echo and Shindawa handheld products.
We're all too familiar with the wake of emotional devastation that frequently follows the abortion. But the good news is there's forgiveness and healing at the foot of the cross. Throughout history, God has always judged severely societies or nations that promote abortion and foster this cause and the practice of abortion. And from the infant sacrifices to the Canaanite god Molech to abortions around the world, and certainly here in the United States. As Mike said earlier, there have been almost 64 million abortions in the last 50 years. In his book, Truth Decay, Steve Hale makes the case that America really doesn't have a debt crisis, we have a death crisis. And he directly ties the lost lives secondary to abortion to the financial crisis that we're experiencing now. We have 64 million not living, not working, not paying income tax, Social Security tax, Medicare tax. And that has a major impact on the economy. In 1952, the ratio of working individuals to those on Social Security was 16 to 1. In 2008, it was 3 to 1. And it's estimated somewhere between 2028 and 2030, it will be 2 to 1. In 2006, when the number of abortions was about 52 million in this country, it was estimated that the direct financial impact, the loss of U.S. GDP, gross domestic product, equal about 38 trillion with a T dollars. So, you know, now our national debt is about 33.5 trillion. So I think there's a lot of coincidence in that. You know, earlier this year we celebrated a great victory with the overturning of Roe versus Wade, but the culture of death is still alive and well. There are many in the government that like to still push the abortion issue wherever they can, in any nook and cranny. I'm the chief of radiology at the local VA hospital here, and I learned several months ago that the VA will now offer abortion services in its hospitals throughout the country. The only stipulation is that it has to be an eligible veteran or one of their beneficiaries. The statement that the official statement from the VA is taking steps to guarantee veterans and other VA beneficiaries to have access to abortion-related care. Anywhere in the country, VA employees, when working within the scope of their federal employment, may provide authorized services regardless of state restriction. So this whole thing is an effort to get around the states that have relatively strict abortion laws, like in Georgia with our heartbeat law at 6 weeks. Kind of analogous to, you know, putting a casino on a Indian reservation to circumvent state laws. Switching gears, ABC over the last 20 years has experienced tremendous support from all of this community. Many of you here, we see that so many faces from year to year. One thing that's really exciting to me tonight is to see a younger generation, a new generation taking on the mantle and stepping up in the name of life. Many of the early years, as Becky can certainly attest, were really a struggle. We had some very lean years. Many times we didn't know how we would meet payroll, you know, month to month. But through it all, God always provided, and so many of you, have been so instrumental in meeting that need and getting us through that time. We're now in a very blessed situation to have a new clinic that we can better serve our patients in a more effective way. But that being said, we still have ongoing needs. The first need that we have is mentally too, and we all know what it is, and it's prayer. Prayer is the most powerful but yet the most underutilized weapon as the believer that we have. So I would ask you to certainly pray. Pray for the clinic, for the workers, for the young ladies, their baby, and anybody else that may be with them in that situation when they come into the appointment. As a radiologist, my job when looking at an ultrasound is to look at the scan and determine if there's a living pregnancy there, if it's a viable pregnancy, along with any other abnormalities that may be there. But I've always considered it my greatest opportunity I do that, but to pray for the young lady in this crisis pregnancy situation, and pray for that baby that will have a chance for life, and pray for that young lady, if she doesn't have a relationship with Christ, that she would find it. We have every day lost and abortion-minded ladies in our clinic on a daily basis. And we thank God for the opportunity that they're there in the right place to hear the right counseling and to see the baby on ultrasound. As board members, frequently we'll get a text from Christina saying, you know, I have X number of abortion-minded women this afternoon for an appointment. Everybody please pray. And so we'll start with a prayer text, and you know, it'll go on, and then I can't tell you how exciting it is, you know, later in the afternoon to many times here, well, this young lady accepted Christ and she chose life for her baby. So that's really exciting to hear that. As Christina also said, we've had so many boyfriends, significant others, and family members that have been saved as well during the process. The second request is to give. Like any ministry, we have ongoing needs for operational expenses, staff salaries, equipment, supplies, and that. But make no mistake, this is ministry at the point of need, and it serves a wonderful purpose for these women at this time of crisis. The success of this ministry over the years has been a reflection in large part of, you know, the faithfulness of this community and the people in this room who have continued to support year after year after year. So I would ask you to please give as God leads in that way. And I'll close with this last remark. British statesman Edmund Burke once said, "The only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for good people to do nothing." So again, I would ask you to add ABC to your daily prayer list and to give.
Come see why more and more people are shopping the friendliest grocery store in town.
I shop at Piggly Wiggly.
Shopping for the freshest produce around.
I shop at Piggly Wiggly.
Shopping for certified Angus beef.
I shop at Piggly Wiggly.
We bag and carry your groceries to your car.
I'm Michael Wheelis, and we come to work every day to serve you.
And I'm Mike Wheelis, and we'd like to thank you for shopping at Piggly Wiggly.
It's hunting season at Roach Farm and Garden. Roach Farm and Garden has a warehouse full of feed and seed. Pennington, Big Boss, ADM, 4S, FRM, and Antler Extreme. Even got the feeders to put it in. Food plots, we got you covered. Fertilizer, oats, clover, peas, and mixes. Take time to check out our huge concrete statue selection. Need deer lure? Fresh voodoo always on the counter. We've got something for everybody at Roach Farm and Garden. 2 locations, Dublin and Wrightsville.
My name is Jeremy Blackstock. I'm the head of school at Trinity Christian School. For over 50 years, our school has faithfully served the Dublin and Lawrence County community. If you are interested in learning more about Trinity Christian, visit our website or also stop by campus. We'd love to show you around. We'd love for your family to be a part of what we're doing here at Trinity Christian School as we endeavor to teach the truth every day. The Lord has blessed us and we have experienced growth this year in our enrollment, but there are still plenty of spots available in K through 12th grade. So if you're interested in touring the school or interested in learning more about our application process, visit our website, tcsweb.org, or call us here at the school and speak with Dawn Lane, our admissions director.
Make his face shine upon you, and we pray.
and your family, and your children, and the children, and the children, please, baby, be upon you, and 1,000 generations, and your family, and your children, and the children, and the children, His presence go before you and behind you, and beside you, all around you, and within you. He is with you, He is with you in the morning, in the evening, when you're coming, when you're going, when you're weeping and rejoicing. He is for you, He is for you. You are my strength when I am weak. You are the treasure that I seek. You are my all in all. Seeking you as a precious truth. Lord, to give up, I'll be a fool. You are my all in all. Taking my sin, my cross, my shame, rising again, I bless your name. You are my all.
As a small business owner, when I first bought the company, I had so much on my plate and was worried about what to do next. One thing I didn't have to worry about was health insurance for my employees. Darren came in, laid it out, and just made the process so simple. He'll come, sit down, explain each plan, each option, and it's just been a great relationship. Darren's the type of guy that if it's a good fit, he'll tell you. He's not gonna try to sell you something that's not good for you.
Well, Mike and his team have been clients for a long time, and it's just like working with family. My first paying job, I worked at Piggly Wiggly here in Dublin as a bag boy. So things have come full circle that I get to work with Mike and his employees, and we do our very best to answer their questions, fill their needs, and we work out things on an individual basis.
Dealing with Darren is not just Darren by himself. He has his family around him and other team members that we can depend on. We can pick up the phone and call Allison or any of them and get the same professional care. If you're a small business owner in this area, you owe it to yourself to sit down and give Darren a chance to show you what he can do for your business.
They're just really great guys to work with and part of our family as well. Local and loving it.
Since 1967.
The tradition continues.
Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, green and growing, invested in the communities we serve. For consumer loans, commercial loans, mortgage loans, contact us at 272-7775 or log on to cbs-lc.com. Citizens Bank of Lawrence County, located on Hillcrest Parkway and downtown in the Henry Building. Member FDIC and an equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Meg Greer-Evans with Middle Georgia Estate Planning. It's Alzheimer's Awareness Month, and I want to make sure you know that you need to update your estate planning documents. Whether that's an advance directive for health care or a financial power of attorney, we need those documents in place to make sure that you're taken care of during your lifetime. It's also a good idea to update your will or a trust. If you need help with any of those, give us a call at 478-272-2885.